If you could choose one country in Africa that is an example of good governance, which would it be and why?
No, it's pressure. But Ghana. Reason I
know the secret of Ghana's success today. It is because they did not abandon their culture and tradition.
That the Nigerian problem has nothing to do with their executives, with their administrators, but the Nigerian foundational way of thinking, which was inculcated in us by our parents. We think weirdly. We think uncannily.
Truth is bitter, but it have to be said. Nigerians really have a long way to go. Meanwhile, Ghana is currently trending for having the best government in Africa. Let's watch this video, seeing people's reaction and other videos of Ghanaians and Nigerians. And please, do not forget to like this video, share and subscribe. I'll be back to throw more light on it.
If you could choose one country in Africa that is an example of good governance, which would it be and why?
No, it's pressure. But Ghana. Reason I say that is because the exchange rate, the CD trades more favorably to the pound and to the dollar than it used to. When you're looking at the democracy rankings, Ghana is middle to the upper on the pack. We haven't had a military dictatorship since the 1980s under Jerry John Rawling. And when you think of political violence, say what's happening to Nigerian Christians or Muslims, when you compare it to Ghana, there's not the same sort of level of instability or insecurity. People fit into the sort of middle to upper middle income bracket when you're looking at international statistics. And that's why I'd have to pick Ghana.
But it's down to population though. I would argue that any time, any day.
To a degree.
Because it's easier to manage a smaller population.
A country that almost no one ever speaks about, say, is the Central African Republic. That's one of the most violent, poorest parts of Africa. Its population is not huge. It's not massive. It's small. And there's many countries in Africa where the population is not large, but the suffering is still disproportionate.
More about governance rather than population.
Governance, debt to GDP ratio, ethnic, religious, political tensions. There's all sorts of things I think that go into whether or not you'd say a country's being governed well.
I'm agreeing with you, man. I don't think it's population at all. Nigeria, we more time look at the president. You need to also go to the individual governors of each state. What are you doing for your state?
Do you know the secret of Ghana's success today? It is because they did not abandon their culture and tradition. In as much as they have a president in Ghana, still there is a traditional ruler that is very, very powerful. To the extent that whenever a president is being elected, that president must have to go and see that traditional ruler and pay homage to him. That is King Otumufo, the #1 king in this Africa. Even if Ghana people want to borrow loan today from the MIF and the president go and they refuse to give him the loan, once King Otumufo go, they will give him the loan. Because they place tradition ahead, because they know that tradition and culture is what that will keep a country strengthened. Without that culture, if like Ghanaians didn't value that culture, that Ashanti region their culture, if like they did not value it by now, some things would have been damaged here in Ghana. But they regard their culture. King Otumufo, the highest. You know how many presidents that have come and meet this King Otumufo? Regarding that there is a president, still there is a traditional ruler that has almighty power. Even to the extent that if King Otumufo, the elect president, and King Otumufo know that this president will not help Ghanaians, he can say that they should dethrone the president, or the president should not rule. Because, bro, Ghana is on a different level, bro. But people will not understand. You see, in Nigeria, their kings, they don't even give them the supreme leadership that they have to have in that country. That is why things will be damaging in Nigeria, and no king can be able to stand up and talk, because the traditional rulers don't have power. But come in Ghana here, this is one of the things that made them to remain the best African country.
You really need to watch this. Just watch this.
People like Cyrus, that according to the Washington-based Migration Policy Institute, Nigerians are the most successful and educated immigrant group in Africa, in America. Maybe that's why it's beefy. Our Hollywood movies, our skit makers, our music artists are putting African positively in the world map, not just West Africa. Not to mention people like Philip Emegwali, our Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, our Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, our Professor Wole Soyinka, and whether she likes it or not, our Kemi Badenoch, and numerous mayors and members of parliament in UK, US, and Canada. Not even to mention the basketballers, footballers, including American football. And now let me even drive it home, because at the verse.
Hey, God. You see, when you understand the way Nigerians think, you understand the direction of their thinking, that is when you understand that the Nigerian problem has nothing to do with their executives, with their administrators, but the Nigerian foundational way of thinking, which was inculcated in us by our parents. We think weirdly. We think uncannily. We think backward. We think downward. What do I mean? Let's first of all start by stating what he actually said. He went to Kemi Badenoch and said whether she likes it or not. He said, let me make this video so that everybody, let me make this video so that everybody would know it now. You see, everybody is destined to be great, and I know that my greatness is inevitable. And by what I mean by greatness, I mean my popularity, my opulence. It's not about the money. The money will always be there. It's not about the money. One of the things I see as an achievement is the popularity. It's a popularity when the world probably would know about me. And I want to sound this warning. Anyway, let me not just make the warning now, because that period, that is when I'll make the warning the most. Nigerians in any way should never, ever, ever identify with me when my greatness comes. Let no Nigerian body, let no Nigerian journalist say, oh, this is our Nigeria and he's making us proud. God forbid that I would be identified with you people. You know why? Because I have seen that what you Nigerians are very good at is in reaping where you've not sown. That's what you're very good at. You go and Nigerians run around the world, migrate to all parts of the world, and these parts of the world give them the privileges to thrive, which Nigeria had never given to them. And the moment these Nigerians begin to thrive, a man is a product of his environment. These environments, these respective environments, these foreign environments gave them the opportunity to thrive, which Nigeria never gave to them. The first thing Nigerians will come to do is, he is our own. You want to claim Kemi Bandalok. You want to claim... Oh my goodness. Nigerians. Why was it that when Chidinma was rejected by South Africa, she was crying? Why was she crying? When someone says whether Kemi likes it or not, she is a Nigerian. That tells you the mentality of Nigerians. That it tells you that they, like, these people are disgraceful. These people are so. When I tell you people that these people suffer from mental disorder, mental deformity. When I told you people this, a lot of people think I'm taking it too personal. Why would I take it too personal? I'm simply redirecting you people to a fact that was clearly established and submitted by a group of qualified psychiatrists. That as of 2024-2025, 3 out of 4 Nigerians suffer from mental disorder. So what are we saying? Okay, let's neglect that. Now, Nigerians are the only people that brag with people that have not given anything that have not bestowed them with any form of moral, just because they want to compete with Ghana. What is the use of Wole Soyinka to you people? What is the use of Chimamanda to you people? Chimamanda had married a Canadian man or a white man. What's the use of Okonjo-Iweala? She was in the World Bank, but what has she implemented here? If you were talking about the Rakri, I probably would have said, okay, these are people that brag about Dangote, people that steal from you. You know what Nigerians do to you people? You know what you people are so vulnerable as Nigerians, as masses. That's why you people are naturally poor. Even the wealthy ones are poor-minded. People that brag with people that have no value to them whatsoever. Ghanaians will mention Kwame Nkrumah, and Kwame Nkrumah, you know, is a man that brought the tip. He brought the tip. He fought for Africa. He was bringing the tip to Africa. Let's see his legacy in Ghana. But you people will talk about men that would rather take from the society to furnish themselves. The more you're stealing from Nigeria, the more you're subduing and oppressing Nigerians and furnishing yourself. Nigerians will be worshiping you and praising you. And you people will come out and tell me that the authorities in Nigeria are the problems of Nigeria. It's Nigerians as people that moved them, that encouraged them, that elevated them to continue their oppression and victimization. By their attribute, they talk this, you know, they are lukewarm, and this is owed to their senselessness and foundational brilliantness and irrationality. Someone will be complaining, oh, you're victimizing me, you're oppressing, but his actions clearly shows he's elevating and encouraging you to continue victimizing him. In fact, he's propagating you to victimizing him. It's unbelievable. You talked about Nigerian movie industry. Oh Jesus. He talked about the Nigerian movie industry. Nigerian movie industry is bringing what to Nigeria exactly? I don't get. What is it bringing to Nigeria? Because I've ventured into the movie industry and I know what's happening. You will see Jackie Appiah going to her alma mater and contributing a whole lot to them. Jackie Appiah, that's Jackie Appiah. I don't think there is a video or evidence of any Nigerian movie star that have done the same for his or her alma mater. I don't think so. They forget it. And you don't blame them, because these schools nurtured them to be criminal. These schools nurtured them to practice wizardry and witchcraft. That's what these schools nurtured them to. So you don't blame them on that note. That's number one. But that's Jackie Appiah. Now you want to talk about the movie industry. The movie industry in Nigeria has brought more harm than good in Nigeria. I'll tell you why. If it's not for YouTube, the movie, I went to Asaba. First of all, in Asaba, the only thing that gives you the eligibility, that gives you a shot to be taken and deceived a little bit, or be given the hope that you'll be given a scenario, that you'll be given a script, that you'll be given at least a role The only thing that gives you the eligibility to be given a role in Nigerian movie industry as a girl is how much and how many men you've spread how many directors you've spread your legs for. How many directors you've spread your legs for. Have you not noticed that Nigerian actresses over a period of time go to relate with politicians, Genevieve Nnaji, Lindy Ikeji, Regina Daniels and co. It's a struggle for them. It's a struggle. You know why? Because these directors tend to frustrate them in demanding for continual sex. And once these girls give continual sex, eventually when they delve into the movie industry and they become popular, they begin to seek out for politicians that will give them more money. So that these directors will have no hold on them again. A lot of people don't know the story of Regina Daniels as to why she took to the man she took to. It's not in her right frame of mind, but because of what Nigerians moved her to do. You want to talk about the Nigerian movie industry? All these people you talk about in Nigeria have brought more harm than good in Nigeria. But Nigerians are the only people that elevate and worship people that subjugate them and bring harm to them.
I am a Nigerian man, but there are two things that make me truly embarrassed of being Nigerian. The first thing is how white supremacist Nigerians are as a collective, and the second is how very comfortable Nigerians are with the current state of Nigeria, in spite of the fact that shit is fucked up in Nigeria. Now, I will give grace because I understand that we have a long way to go, and it's not easy being a black person in a white supremacist capitalistic world, so I will give grace because we as a black collective will still have ways to go. However, there are so many things that Nigerians can learn from black Americans. For example, did you know that once upon a time in the United States of America, black people were not considered humans? They were considered property. I don't think you understand. Like, black Americans who occupy America today, once upon a time, they were not considered human beings at all. Just imagine how fucked up that is, that their ancestors built America, yet they were considered less than humans. But guess what they did? They fought back. So in the 1800s, there was a civil war because some people wanted to make sure that black Americans remained properties. And in this civil war, more American soldiers died than any other war that American soldiers have died in combined. Let that sink in. Only because black Americans just wanted to be seen as humans. That's it. Black Americans were not asking for too much. They just wanted a space where they can survive. That's it. They understood that they couldn't go back to Africa because that tie is already broken. They couldn't go anywhere else because they don't know anywhere else but America. America is all they know. And in America, white still has power. They were not trying to fight or drag that power with white. They just wanted a safe space for them to raise their children and just do their own thing. However, with Nigerians do not fight the fuck shit in Nigeria because Nigerians believe that the white man's ice is colder. The average Nigerian does not believe in Nigeria, even though we like to pretend that we are proud to be Nigerian. Giant of Africa, all kinds of foo-foo shit. The average Nigerian is looking to leave Nigeria by fire, by force, to go to America, to go to Canada, to go to UK. Why is the average Nigerian trying to run to America? To enjoy the benefits that black American ancestors have fought and died for you, so that your black ass from Nigeria can be considered a human being, so that your children born on American soil will be considered American citizens with equal rights to whites, because you do not truly believe in Nigeria. That is the power of the audacity that came from them fighting back. Imagine if all Nigerians, both home and abroad, stopped looking at immigration as the solution and start fighting for what is truly ours in our home country with the exact same audacity or more. Hey, Father, just imagine what Nigeria would look like for us and our children yet to be born.
Nobody is mad at the name Giant of Africa. Nobody is angry that Nigeria is called the Giant of Africa. Other Africans are not saying because Nigeria is called the Giant of Africa, we are going to hate on Nigerians. No. People are sad about what is going on in Nigeria. People are angry. People are mad at Nigerians for their inability to fix their problems. People are tired of watching this so-called Giant of Africa shrink in real time. Because whether you like it or not, Nigeria is shrinking. So other Africans are not mocking Nigerians out of jealousy. They are not attacking Nigerians out of hate. They are reacting out of frustration, out of disappointment. And that is because people expected more from Nigeria. People expected more from the leadership, from the system, from the people. Unfortunately, nothing to write home about. The giant cannot even live up to its name. What kind of giant is that? A giant that cannot prove its strength. What kind of giant is that? For years now, Many African countries, especially in the West African region, waited for Nigeria to rise and lead. Until this day, Nigeria is not rising. Instead, Nigeria is sinking deep and deep into chaos, into instability, into insecurity, hopelessness, economic collapse. Even with the population, the diversity, the potential, the resources, nothing to show. This giant is sleeping and snoring and is affecting Kenya, is affecting South Africa, is affecting Ghana, is affecting India, Indonesia, every country where you find Nigerians. Majority of them are desperate for survival. And a desperate man is a dangerous man. A desperate man does not care about the law. That is why you find millions of Nigerians involving themselves in illegalities just to survive. So what is the use of this title, Giant of Africa? Why do you call yourself Giant of Africa when you can't live up to that title? I'm just asking, no disrespect. And frankly speaking, Nigeria being called the Giant of Africa with a broken system is laughable. I mean, where is the stability? Where is the leadership? Where is the accountability? Where is the innovations? Where is the strong institutions? Where is the leadership to ascertain the claim that, yes, Nigeria is the Giant of Africa? For a country to be called giant, there has to be giant innovations, giant results, giant institutions. But in 2025, there's no stable electricity in Nigeria. There's no stability in Nigeria. The citizens are facing serious economic hardship. So where is the Giant of Africa in all this? I'm just asking, please, don't crucify me. It's just a question. There has to be a reason why Nigeria will be called the Giant of Africa. There has to be proof to ascertain the claim that Nigeria is the Giant of Africa. Like, prove beyond reasonable doubt that Nigeria is the Giant of Africa by showing the world what we are capable of, what we have achieved, our national progress. We need to see that. No disrespect. If you call Kenya the capital of Africa, the proof is there. If you call South Africa Rainbow Nation or the most diverse African country or the richest African country, the proof is there. If you call Ghana peaceful country, the proof is there. If you call Ghana democratically matured West African country, the proof is there. But Nigeria, on the other hand, the Giant of Africa, where is the proof? Some of you will say Lagos. Lagos is congested. Lagos is carrying the weight of 237 million people. And that is because there is serious imbalanced development in Nigeria. The federal government of Nigeria focus only in Lagos and Abuja. So where is the proof to ascertain the claim that Nigeria deserves the title, the Giant of Africa? So nobody is mad because Nigeria is called the Giant of Africa. If there is any reason that people are mad because Nigeria is called the Giant of Africa, it is because of the fact that Nigeria as a country has failed to live up to that title, Giant of Africa. So some South Africans today, some Kenyans, some Ghanaians, they pity Nigerians. Mind you, nobody's interested in that your title, Giant of Africa. You can have it for eternity. Nobody gives a fuck about your title, Giant of Africa. I made a video the other day. I said South Africa is the Giant of Africa in the comment section. So South Africans are saying they don't give a fuck about that title. They don't want that title, Giant of Africa. You can have it. You may hate me for telling the truth, but the world is watching. Okay? South Africans, Kenyans, Ghanaians, and the rest of the world, they watch Nigerians escape Nigeria on a daily basis. The best minds are packing their bags. Some are selling their properties to leave the country. So where is the proof that you are the Giant of Africa? Nigeria. I'm just asking. Where is the proof? No hate. We need to balance our system. We need to build a working system. We need to build a country with accountability, functionality. A country where the system is working. Not a country that practices selective justice. Not a country with weak institutions. Not a country where corrupt individuals are elected into power. And you expect miracle to happen. It can't. Nothing will change until we Nigerians come together and fight for what is right. The greatest power is the power of the people.
Absolutely true. I wish Nigerians can drop religion and tribalism and think of Nigeria as a country first. That is one thing I love so much about Ghanaians. Ghana think of their country first before any other religion on tribalism. I wish Nigeria can do the same because we have all it takes to make our country a better place. But the greed of religion and tribalism and some greedy politician will not make Nigeria progress. But I always say in my videos, may God help the country Nigeria. A lot has been spoken on this video. They've not given their points and reasons of what they think about Ghanaians and Nigeria. And this video of this, I don't know if they are African American or they are Nigerians or they are Ghanaians, saying that Ghana have the best government in Africa. Yes, Ghanaians leaders are really trying and also want their leaders to do more for Ghanaians. But I must tell you the truth. The things Ghanaians have in their country to do, the good road, good school, electricity, name it, Ghanaians are seized as normal in their country is what we Nigerians are praying every day for we to have at least 50% in our country. May God help Nigeria and Africa at large. At this point, I would love to see your comment on the comment section of what you also think of this video. And please, if you have not liked this video, do me well by liking the video and don't forget to share so that more people can see this video. And please, if this is the first time you're coming across this channel, please do not make it your last by subscribing. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to the channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now and stay blessed.